Yes, Alec, I see these two windows. What about them? They're just hanging there. It's in the lyrics. These Two Windows is the debut studio album released by Alec Benjamin. This is an artist that has gotten a lot of buzz if you've been paying attention. I first heard of Alec through seeing him play with John Mayer on his Instagram show Current Mood. And I gotta be honest, I was impressed and I was just really happy. Pretty similarly to what John Mayer was saying, that he was just happy that someone understands how to do songwriting that's like a generation below him, maybe two, I'm not sure. Because that's what I felt when he was playing with Mayer. It was awesome. It was just two dudes playing some music that just kind of speaks to you, that can touch your heart pretty simply, but also makes your mind think, oh dang, that's mind-opening, eye-opening, thought-provoking, all of that. Now, before he released this album, he did release two mixtapes before this, and I remember going back to just kind of get an idea of what his sound would be like in a recorded form. And I remember not being as thrilled because there is a little bit more added production, kind of getting you toward a pop element, but not purely that, thankfully. But it did make me think, sometimes it's best just to give less is more. It doesn't have to be purely acoustic, not just him and the guitar, but sometimes that would just be nice. And in many instances, we do get that with this album. A couple of times, we add a little something here and there, and for the most part, I think it actually is beneficial and works fine enough. Other times, I feel like I would probably take out one or two things, but beyond that, I don't have a bunch to be able to say, this album is not what I wanted. I would say for a debut album, he did well. I probably took a little bit too much of the expectations Kool-Aid, if you will, because there's enough elements in here where I can say I like this. But there was a moment where I felt that he could just deliver something even more. But if you don't have those expectations, you might be okay with this. And I get that. And that's why I still have a positive feeling about how I'm going to talk about this album. The very first thing everyone is going to notice about Alec is that his voice is a little higher pitched. And I don't mind that at all. The thing is, whatever it is you have, if you are going to be a vocalist and you're going to utilize it as a leading man or backup or, however, utilize it well. And he has the gift for it. I know that there's going to be some other people who are going to say it's weird because he is 26. He's only a few years younger than me. And his voice sounds kind of like I hate saying this out loud, but a pre-puberty Justin Bieber. I'm sure you've heard worse, dude. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to get my point across. You have a higher pitched voice. I like it. Some people will think it's weird. People deal with all kinds of weird criticism. This works, okay? The first song, Mind is a Prison, delivers on that lyrical aspect I talked about. Its vocal delivery was not as strong as it should have been, but lyrically, it's going to get you invested. The next song, Demons, that's where things start to get interesting. Right here, right there's something in my heart that beated when I was hearing this sound. And it did have the right amount of additional production that I would otherwise think we don't need that, but it works out in this song. The song, The Book of You and I, this is kind of like a simple song, but it works really well. You just kind of wish it had a little more zing to it when it ends. The song, Jesus in L.A. Wow. This one's creative. it comes across as like a touchy subject for trying to do the right thing, or just trying to find legitimate hope in dark spaces. And coming from Southern California, there are corners of LA where I definitely understand where this applies. Just saying. Another song I would really like to recommend, albeit a C2C song, is I'm Not a Cynic. Definitely give that one a listen. The song Alamo I wanted to like a lot, but the rap verse did not land particularly well. I don't know if I could make a very good comparison between that and whatever Ed Sheeran's rap verses usually do. Beyond the Divide album, I think his rapping is kind of whatever in a hilarious kind of way, but at least I have a reaction to it that is somewhat more, funny. In here, it's just like, that wasn't necessary. Last two songs really seal this album pretty darn well. The first of those being Must Have Been the Wind. It's kind of a song that talks about domestic abuse in a way that can provide some kind of hopeful light at the end of the tunnel. It's a dark turn, but at the same time, it's trying to give you hope. And I love songs like that where you understand actual, legitimate, real-life hardships, and yet you still want to press forward somehow. And the very last song is Just Like You. This is kind of a father-son relationship song where the son is kind of coming to understand the perspective of the father as he gets older. I think a lot of people could benefit from listening to this one. So I think overall for this album, I think that the lyrical aspect and the topic aspect of a lot of these songs is very relatable, and that alone can get you hooked in pretty strongly. The production and execution in some parts of it is not as strong as you think it could be. Maybe it sounds better performed live. It could be one of those things. But we do need to have that initial investment when it's released to us like this. So I'm going to say that some things could have been done better. But if I ever get to see him in concert, I'm there. Because I think I could feel something very strongly if I listened to him live. So after having listened and reviewed this album with production of 93%, creativity 88%, expression and lyrics 85%, I'm going to give this album a good. I think this will work fine for now. I hope that whatever influences or whatever guidance he gets moving forward will be able to propel him, especially with his with just whatever goes on in his head, because most people will not be able to write like that. And that needs to be harnessed very well, but the final execution also matters. So please check out what he has, because I guarantee you, I think you'll like at least half of this album. Probably more than that. I'm pretty confident about that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff down below, so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.
This way, 'cause you won't find Jesus in LA.